Our fans, the people that listen to our station, of course, are very familiar with Rick Nelson as an artist from Bebop Baby right through Garden Party. And I think they'll be very pleased to know that you now have a new recording contract.
Yeah, I do. I just signed with Capitol, and we're kind of at the finishing up our first album with them, and it gives me a nice feeling to know that the company is really behind you and stuff, and it really wants you, because most of the time you have to sell yourself on a record company, which seems kind of odd,
Right.
But that's the way it works. But they've really sort of come to me, and it's a real nice feeling.
The beauty of it is that it is Capitol, which is doing well with Bob Seger. He's at the top of rock and roll today, and they're ready to go out and follow it up with some more rock and roll, because based on the concert that you did tonight, the new song, Almost Saturday Night, is that the title? Excellent. Unbelievable.
Thank you.
Now,
John Fogerty wrote that.
Oh, John Fogerty wrote that.
Yeah.
I'll be darned.
And we have they're all new songs and stuff on the album. Like,
have you written any of those?
Yeah. I've written some, and a couple guys in the band have written some of the songs, and then different outside writers,
Great.
But it's basically it's rock and roll album.
Have you now, when you're writing, I know that the first Stone Canyon Band that I got album, you had written every cut on it. It was that one with a tan cover.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, the first one was the live album.
Is that live?
Troubadour, yeah.
Yeah, I think I've got that here,
That was
too.
the one right before.
Right.
Yeah. And it was kind of, it was different to have a steel guitar in bands at that time. And it was kind of a whole new sound, like country rock and stuff like that.
Right, which of course is very dominant today.
Yeah.
It's still very strong, and I think it's getting stronger, but these new wave groups and the punk groups, they've been emulating the music of the 50s as far as trying to...
Well, what's really happened with me is that it's sort of come a complete cycle, It's back to that, like, garage band type thing, and that's really what I started with James Burton.
Right.
And a guy named James Kirkland. He used to play stand-up bass.
Right.
And it was just 3-4 pieces.
Something that I think is exciting as far as listening to your concert were the new arrangements that you did of some of your older songs. And I think that you've done a lot of work on those, and yet the people still enjoy the fact that they're hearing Rick Nelson doing an oldie, but it's something new.
Well, what it is strange. It's like it's basically the same. The solos are where they were and all that. But like saying, believe what you say. That's we did a version, like a live version, which is going to be on the album too. And the arrangement's a little different.
Yeah, a little more driving, I think.
Yeah.
Which is excellent. And I think that you have in your past a lot of songs that seem to me that they should be ready to make the cycle again, and those are some of those great songs that were written by the Burnett brothers.
Yeah.
They were just great rockabilly.
Believe what you say was.
Right. And a whole slew of these, I think, should come back. Those guys could write and...
they wrote songs like Believe What You Say is really, it's like just a 3-chord, rock and roll song, and it kind of hangs in there,
Right.
And I know when we play it, it's a new song to a lot of people that we play to now.
That's good, because I think that they'll accept it, and the people who know you already know about
Yeah,
that
they know
song.
about the song.
Yeah, which is
So,
great.
Hopefully it'll work out.
I understand that there's a kind of a little story involved that the big hit that Rocky Burnett has out now was given to you almost a year ago.
Yeah, well, I actually recorded it, recorded the song.
Uh-huh.
And,
Was it ever released?
And it wasn't released. No.
God, that's a shame.
And I wanted it released.
Yeah.
Because I really liked the song.
Yeah, and I can picture you singing it.
Rocky really was excited that I did it, because his dad used to write,
Right,
songs
right.
and stuff, and it just never got released, which
That's a shame.
is the way it goes.
And that's the other
And now
thing,
now
it's good to know that you're with Capitol, and I hope that they go and push your products, because Epic really, in my opinion, never tried. At WVOR, I know that we were interested in Dream Lover and hoped to see it go, and it had that push on Saturday Night Live,
Yeah,
and yet nothing
I know.
by the company, which is so strange,
Well, it becomes very frustrating to me, too,
Unfortunately, as I remember, at the same time, they had signed Engelbert Humperdinck, and they had
They signed
three
a
or four other
bunch of people.
groups that had a past, so to speak.
And I just got the feeling that they sort of threw it up there as, hopefully one of them would stick.
Right.
And you can't do it that way. You have to get behind
Okay.
whatever it is.
What we want is for it to work this time. and
Yeah,
for
I
you
do
to
too,
just
I really do, and I feel more positive about it than ever. Jack Nietzsche, who did about 8 or 9 Rolling Stone
sure.
albums, he
He was
produced.
with Spector before that.
Yeah.
Into the surfing music way early, as a matter of
Well,
fact.
yeah, and Jack's kind of coming from that rock and roll era,
Right.
And we get along really well.
That's good. And he produced this album.
Produced this album. He's
Excellent.
really excited about it. So
Good.
It makes me feel good.
Great. Very good. Thank you very much for letting us talk to you.
Sure.
tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.